Hi, today we practiced word problems that used scientific notation. So let me show you what we did in class. Starting with our bell work, write this giant number in scientific notation. I will remind you there is an invisible decimal at the end of all numbers. We just don't write it because that would be silly. And then we move it so there's only one digit that's to the left of that decimal point. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 2.34 times 10 to the power of 16. So there's one digit to the left, everything else is after it. Because in these zeros there's no other numbers, I don't have to write all these zeros. Write this in scientific notation. Again, 0 does not count as a digit. It's got to be between 1 and 9. So I need to move this so there's something between 1 and 9 in front of it. Not a 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4.1 times 10 to the 7. No, not times 10 to the 7, because 7, like a positive 7, means a big number. Negative means our decimal. Jenny and John are each writing a paper for their English class. Jenny has written 250 words, and John has written 845 words. How many times more words has John written than Jenny? There's that key phrase. How many times more? We talked about that, where that means divide. And we'll do our bigger one, John, divided by our smaller one, Jenny. And then you just solve. And that'll tell you how many more times. It's almost like saying, here's John's paper, it's really big. Here's Jenny's paper, it's really small. How many times could we fit Jenny's paper inside of John's paper? That's kind of what we're figuring out. Okay, our goal. I can solve word problems involving scientific notation. Pages 15 and 16 in your notebook with your team. Okay, this is the stuff we did yesterday. Here we go. This was all word problems. I'm not going to go through all the specific answers. I'm just going to go through if we add, subtract, multiply, or divide. A corporation earned a profit of this much for this many days in a row. So every single day they earned this much money. That's a lot of money. What is the company's total profit during this time period? You're going to multiply, because it's every single day over and over and over again that they're getting this same amount of money. So multiply. And when you need the answer, again, you can literally type 2.5 times 10 to the 4th times 1 times 10 to the 3rd to get your answer. In 2013, I don't know why I'm using a date from so long ago, but there you go. The Los Angeles Dodgers opening day payroll was about 2.16 times 10 to the 8th. Payroll being how much money they got paid for one day. So how much money the team got paid in one day on opening day. And the Houston Astros opening day payroll was about 2.4 times 10 to the 7th. How much higher? It's not how many times, it's just how much higher. So like how much more money? So like I did a job and I got $10, and someone else in the class did a job and they got $15. How much more money did they make? They made $5 more, because we subtracted 15 minus 10 is 5. So all we would do is subtract. And you would literally type in your calculator 2.16 times 10 to the 8th, and then the minus symbol, 2.4 times 10 to the 7, and then enter. Okay. A TV show had 3.5 times 10 to the 6th viewers for their first episode. Woo, that's a lot of people to watch the first episode. And even more viewers for their second episode. How many viewers did they have overall? That means we care about day 1 and episode 1 and episode 2 put together. Combining it means add. The population of Crowded Town is 4 times 10 to the 6th. And the population of Empty Village, this is obviously all made up, is 8 times 10 to the 3rd. How many times? The population of Empty Village is Crowded Town. There's that thing that means divide. There's that key phrase, how many times it means divide. That's just like saying how many times could we fit Empty Village into Crowded Town. So we're taking Crowded Town and splitting up into chunks that are the size of Empty Village. I'm going to show you how to do this one, because remember, you cannot just click the divide symbol on your calculator. calculator. That doesn't work. You have to do the fraction button. And when you click the fraction button looks like this. Numerator over denominator. When you click that button, it just gives you a line. And then at the top of that fraction, you would type in the population of crowded town. And in the bottom of it, you would type the population of empty village, and then click enter. And that will tell you your answer. As a team, you did 2 pages, so we can keep going. In 2012, I don't know why I'm using really old dates, New York City and Los Angeles had the highest populations of any cities in the United States. New York City's population was about 8.1 times 10 to the 6th, and LA's population was about 3.8 times 10 to the 6th. Oh, they're both times 10 to the 6th. Cool. What is the population of these 2 cities combined? You just add them together. Literally, you just type those numbers with a plus symbol in the middle and click enter. In 2012, the population of New York State was about this much, and the population of the state of Oregon, so not California, was about this much. How many times the population of Oregon is New York? So how many times could we fit Oregon, the population, not like the land mass, but the amount of people living in Oregon, how many times could we fit them into the amount of people who live in New York? And how many more people live in New York than Oregon? So the first one means divide. I'd take my New York number divided by my Oregon number, and that'll tell us how many times the people could fit into New York people. And then how many more just means subtract. Can you tell NY is supposed to be New York and OR is supposed to be Oregon? So there we go. So don't forget your fraction button, and there you can just do it, subtracting. An airplane traveled 5.7 times 10 squared miles per hour for 1.4 times 10 to the 1 hours. How far did the airplane travel? That means every single hour, over and over and over again, it traveled that far. So that's repeated addition, which is just multiply. And our last one, what's the difference? Math word, what does difference mean? Difference means subtract. So literally you just type this number, subtract symbol, type this number, click enter. Express your answer using both standard and scientific notation. So it wants it as a normal number, whatever the answer is, like 5,120. And it wants it as as scientific notation, so 5.1 times 10 to the power of whatever. I mean, you'd have to actually do the math, right? As of 2021, okay, that's sooner than those other dates, the population of Utah was 3.338 times 10 to the 6th, and the population of Idaho was 1.9 times 10 to the 6th, both of them 10 to the 6th. How many times greater was the population of Utah than Idaho? That means fraction button to divide. The Utah number on top, Idaho number on the bottom. Standard notation, round to the nearest hundredth. Means my answer is going to be written like a normal number. It'll be like 3.2 or something like that. I don't know exactly what it is. 2.1, something. Okay, so that's what you did as a team. Then we did an activity that I called Thinking Whiteboards, where every single person is standing at a whiteboard and they have their own marker. And I put these questions up on the board, and by yourself, and you had a calculator too, and by yourself you had to solve each of these word problems. You actually solved them to get an answer. I'm just going to kind of help you figure out if it would be add, subtract, multiply, or divide. So we have a distant star is this times bigger than Neptune. If the volume of Neptune is this much, what is the volume of the distant star? Well, it's this many times bigger. Now, so tricky. It does not say how many times bigger. If it said how many times bigger, then we're doing our division. But because it already told us the answer of how many times bigger, we're doing the opposite of division, which is to multiply. So you multiply those two numbers together. Feel free to pause the video whenever you need to. A fast food restaurant sold this many burgers last year, and that many burgers this year. I'm not reading those numbers, but they're big. It's a lot of burgers. What is the difference between the amount of burgers sold between the 2 years? Difference means subtract. Brandon and Bethany are out for a run. They can run very fast, 1.8 times 10 to the 1 miles per hour. How long will it take them to run 3,000 miles? So that means every single hour they can run this many miles. Then how many hours will it take them to run 3,000 miles? I gotta take that 3,000 miles and split it up into chunks that are how fast they can run. And that'll tell me how many hours it'll take, which means this one is divide. Oh, I haven't grabbed my pen yet. Divide. I have to take my 3,000 and split it up into chunks. In case you're curious about this, 1.8 times 10 to the 1, that's just 8, that equals 18. They can run 18 miles per hour. 18 miles in an hour. Let's see, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is maybe a 6-minute mile. That's just it's very fast. I can't run that fast. Other people can. You probably know people who can run that fast. Not me. I'm happy when I get a solid 10 or 12-minute mile in there. I'm good with that. Oh, interesting. It didn't erase. There. I see what I did. That's what I did. Okay, a quarter weighs this much. The U.S. has this many quarters in circulation. In circulation just means like in existence in the United States. There are that many quarters. What's the weight of all the quarters in circulation? Well, we need this weight over and over and over and over and over and over again this many times. So that means we multiply. The approximate total surface area of Earth is that big. Salt water has an approximate surface area of that much. Fresh water has an approximate surface area of that much. Approximately how many times greater is the Earth's surface that are covered by weather? That's supposed to be covered by water. Covered by water compared to the amount of the Earth's surface area that is covered by land. So let's figure out how much is each. This is water. Oh no, this is salt water. And this is fresh water. So let's first find out how much water altogether. Add those two together. 3, 5, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That was all my zeros. Plus symbol, 9 times 10 to the power of 6. Oopsies. And type it correctly, not like me. Not that you can see what I did, so I'll pretend like I did it right. There we go. So the Earth's surface of water is 3, 6, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yep, that's water. So then let's figure out land. Well, we just take this and subtract water. This is the total. This is all the surface of the Earth. Take away all the water. So 5.1 times 10 to the power of 8. Take away, subtract. 3, 6, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Enter. Then land is 1, 4, 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's less land than water. Does that surprise you? I don't think it does. Like, to me, I don't think it does to me. That doesn't surprise me. When I look at a globe, there's a lot more water than there is land in there. And now that we figured all that, how many times greater? Greater means bigger, means divide. How many times greater means divide. So we literally take our number for water divided by our number for land and click enter. Woo! That one was a good one. That was a good question. And then we had an exit ticket. Jenny and John are writing another paper. This time Jenny has written 510 words, which is 2.1 times as many words as John. How many words has John written? Well, it doesn't say how many times. It already tells us the time. So if it said how many times, it would mean divide. But it tells us how many times, so we can just multiply. And you guys actually had to solve it. This times that. If the speed of light is this, I'm sure I looked that up, probably is true. How many seconds does it take the light to reach the Earth if the sun is that many meters from Earth? Well, it can go this far every single second. So we need to take this distance and split it up into these. So split up means divide. So we'll take our distance divided by our speed. and that'll tell us how long it takes it to reach the Earth. That's what we learned about today. Have a great day. Bye.